Hello everyone, we're going to get straight into that big news coming out of Chelsea. It's just come in. 1 Hour Sports Italy are reporting that further talks between Napoli and Chelsea are expected this week over the potential transfers of Victor Osimhen to Chelsea and potentially Romelu Lukaku going the other way. Dan, what can you tell us? Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, there's some really big news coming from our colleagues in Italy. Further talks are now expected to happen between Napoli and Chelsea, especially due to the news that Napoli's sporting director Giovanni Manna is in London this week to talk, first of all, about Romelu Lukaku joining Napoli, the potential of that. Because I don't think it's been a secret that the new boss, Antonio Conte, Lukaku is his top priority to sign this window. But as part of those discussions, we understand that Chelsea are obviously big admirers of Victor Osimhen, and he's expected to be subject of those discussions as well. So could we see Lukaku go one way to Italy, and perhaps Osimhen come the opposite? We'll have to wait and see. Do you think this could gather momentum? I mean, this would be huge, wouldn't it? Absolutely. And also, it's never a boring day with Chelsea, of course, is it, in terms of their business? And it's no secret they're looking for a number 9. And we were speaking about João Felix a bit earlier. Victor Osimhen, we've seen them linked with him in previous windows as well. And Napoli have clearly made a statement about Osimhen being available. He's not part of Antonio Conte's plans this season, so he's clearly someone who's available. Chelsea clearly in need of a striker. So with these talks happening this week in England, also worth noting that Giovanni Manna is also separately looking to make a deal for Billy Gilmour, a former Chelsea product as well. Looks like Napoli intend to make some business happen. And that suits Chelsea, of course. I mean, there's a long way to go here in New Bay. But if Victor Osimhen goes to Chelsea, that's going to be the biggest deal of the transfer window so far, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, he's obviously one of the best strikers in the world, especially the season when Napoli won the league. He loved being there. He loved everything being about himself. And also, even at AFCON, I think he was desperate for. He's a story writer. Whenever I look at certain footballers, you kind of go, what is it about this player that makes him special? And he's someone that I think goes, give me the ball. Let me be the guy who scores a last-minute winner. Let me be the guy who does something that's on the papers tomorrow. And I think Chelsea probably don't need more players like that. But he might be the cherry on top of what is right now an enormous cake. Yeah, it probably doesn't need too many more cherries, to be honest. It is a big cake, isn't it? We've got 43 players in that cake at the moment. Not a very tasty cake, actually, 43 people in it. But Osimhen, I mean, this would be huge, right? What does this tell us about Chelsea's plans in this window? From the outside looking in, it looks like a scattergun approach. But with Victor Osimhen, Chelsea have long been admirers of him. He's been an admirer of Chelsea as well. He's spoken about how Didier Drogba was his idol growing up. They've got a very close relationship. Antonia Folk, one of our colleagues here at 1 Hour Sports, managed to talk to Victor Osimhen at AFCON earlier this year. And he spoke about his dreams of playing in the Premier League one day. Maybe we didn't think it would come this soon, but he signed a new deal with Napoli last year, puts him a lot of money. They're willing or they're keen to shift him off of that because, like you mentioned, they want to bring in a lot of players. So it's interesting, Victor Osimhen and Chelsea, because I've always viewed him as a Chelsea striker. I've talked about it ad nauseum in terms of the thread that flows through successful Chelsea strikers, from Jimmy Floyd Hasselbalch to Didier Drogba to Diego Costa. They all share that tenacity that, like you touched on in the debate, that kind of give me the ball, let me be the man to score the goals. And Victor Osimhen has those characteristics. So I think if he was to sign for Chelsea, it'd make a lot more sense than the other players being linked to Chelsea in terms of that number 9, and hopefully for Chelsea fans. Chelsea haven't really had that out-and-out goal scorer, and it's about time they signed that player. It's probably the one signing Chelsea could make in this window that actually moves the needle, I think, because a lot of people are still talking about Chelsea finishing 8th to 10th, 8th to 10th. You bring him in, it's guaranteed 15 goals in the season, maybe more, and also you're guaranteed this player that when you're in a situation you're not quite winning and you're throwing all these players together, he's your staple person through the middle. And I think it might even help with a bit of clarity. Like Chelsea might have an idea of how to play, like your number 9 or your centre-backs decide how you play these days. And Chelsea don't really have a singular number 9 or a singular profile. Osimhen probably fits that. And then also having Lukaku who can go the other way could well help Chelsea's cause in terms of getting Osimhen.